Hello everybody, Mr. Jake Mole here. Welcome back. Today's video is essentially me talking about a weight loss update. This is to mainly encourage people who have struggled with weight loss, and this is basically my story in case you have not seen my other two videos about weight loss. So I first started out back in June, and my maximum weight was about 272 pounds, which is very overweight. I think for someone of my height, which is about 6'2", I want to say around 220s. Even that's like considered a little overweight, so yeah. This update is essentially of me informing you that I have reached somewhat of a target, which is around 220. Let's see, what weight am I now? Actually, I'm like 232, around there. It fluctuates a lot. Depending on the day, like by about almost 10 pounds. It's really bizarre. Probably has to do with water and stuff. But anyways, I'm very proud of myself. I've been very inspired. Sorry about the light coming in here from the right.
Say a command.
That was weird. Why are you on? I'm gonna unplug it. Sorry, that was my GPS. Anyways, I'm sitting here in my car waiting for a meeting. Can't really see the screen, but that doesn't matter. You have my voice anyways. I know New Year's has come up and a lot of people have made some resolutions, but here's the main problem with New Year's resolutions. Don't expect them to happen instantaneously. I've tried making a New Year's resolution to lower my weight in the past few years, and it just so happens that I actually lost weight during the summer instead of the winter. Summer is definitely a better time to lose weight because of how much, more active people are. You can actually go outside and run and stuff like that. Rather than the winter where your lungs are basically getting frozen every time you try to run, especially if it's really cold. Don't give up. That's the main thing, and try not to set overly large goals. My entire goal for the summer was to lose 20 pounds, and I lost double that. And you try to make goals that are reasonable, And what I mean by reasonable is don't lose sight of the major goal, but try and make smaller goals that lead up to that. For example, first 2 weeks I was like, okay, let's try and lose 5 pounds. Then that goal was reached earlier than I thought, so I was like, okay, let's reach 10 pounds. Reached earlier than I thought, 15, 20. It just keep going and snowballing, and I think it's really important to try and have goals that are actually achievable and are not necessarily hard. I'm 16, so that means my metabolism is much stronger than that of somebody who is, for example, even in their 20s. But I've never been active in my life. I've always just kept piling on weight. And, I do have to say, now being like about 40 pounds lighter, do I feel more energetic? A little bit. That's definitely something that comes with it, is I do feel a lot more energetic, but I think the main thing is I'm a lot more confident. The fact that I'm able to make this video describing about how crappy my weight was, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Uh, I'm not proud of my weight and how I was back then. This part's basically about how I got the courage to lose weight. Like I said, back in June, summer just started, and my parents were really the ones who encouraged me to lose weight. They too were trying to lose weight themselves. And they were willing to actually lose weight along with me. And I think that's really important as well, is to have people who also want to lose weight with you. Sorry, I'm just trying to... I'm in a parking lot, and I just saw something really interesting happen. Almost a car crash. What the heck is going on? Anyways, when I first started, like I said, I was about 273 pounds, and I just felt like crap. When you're that overweight, you literally don't feel like doing anything except sit around and do nothing. And I finally just had the courage. I was like, you know what, I'm 16. I always envisioned myself losing weight by the time I was in college. Like, by college I would have been ripped and, in the best physical form of my life. And I realized, I'm already 16. I've only got a few years left of high school, and then I'm going to be done. So I decided to finally lose weight, and I did get a personal trainer. His name is Dan. He's a really nice guy. He, too, has had some struggles with weight, but, he's really much an inspiration for me because, he was really overweight himself, and now is, in my opinion, I think he looks pretty nice. He's got a very nice body. And I strive to have my body a lot like his. Anyways, it's, the first few weeks, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, are going to be absolute crap. I remember the first week I went to him, my muscles were literally just, they felt like they were burning. And, it's not like the normal burn. It's more of a shocking burn in which your muscles have never worked out before, at least mine have not. And so they kind of have this... It's so hard to describe. It's literally like, for example, my chest. It felt like my chest was burnt. Like it was that kind of a dull, just... It was just pain. It was just pain. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's how it's going to be, especially if you're like me and have never worked out that vigorously before. But then, a few days later when I came in, I literally stretched it out and worked it out a little more. It was fine. And it actually felt good. It was really surprising to me. I thought it would have made it hurt even more. And in reality, it actually loosened my muscles up and made them better. And I was really surprised by that. So just don't give up hope. Even, the diet I was on was really, really strict. If you've never heard of it, it's called the 17-day diet. Essentially, the first 17 days are no carb, nothing but vegetables, fish, turkey, and chicken. That's it. A lot of yogurt, green tea in the morning, It's a very strict diet at first, but then after a while, it actually does get better. It does allow you to, have carbs and all that stuff. And essentially what it does is it trains your body to be better. It trains your body to be much more susceptible to good foods, nutritious foods, such as, vegetables and fruit. Especially if you're like me and have, are basically addicted to red meat, Am I still addicted? Yeah. I love steak. still do, but I have much more appreciation for chicken and turkey. Like, before this, I hated turkey, and now I like it. You know, turkey's pretty good. And it's good for you. And you do develop a taste for the foods. You know, if you're scared, you know, like, oh, I'm never gonna, you know, have a, you know, taste for these foods. Trust me, within the first few weeks, I mean, I didn't mind it at all. And it's not like other diets where you starve yourself. You literally, it encourages you to literally eat as many vegetables and fruits as you possibly can, actually. You know, that's pretty nice. You know, I'm not sure what else to talk about. Just try and set goals for yourself and do not give up. You know, if I can do it, you certainly can. You know, I lost 40 pounds within the first, 3 months. I was really surprised. Like, the first 20 within a month. It's really surprising. Depending on your metabolism, you may actually have much more of a struggle. There's some people walking up behind me, so I'm going to try and turn the camera away for now. Just kind of interesting. There we go. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of interruptions, a lot more than I actually thought there would be. But just don't give up hope, okay? Don't give up hope, you know? You know, try and find family or friends that'll support you. You know, I always love it when I go to, you know, for example, Thanksgiving and Christmas, people hadn't seen me for a while, and they finally see me, and they're like, oh my God, you know, what happened to you? You know, you're so much thinner, and, you know, it's just such an amazing experience, and one that I can't, you know, recommend enough, especially if you were like me, 272. I mean, that's almost 300 pounds, and I'm like 6'2". You know, I wasn't overly obese, but I was for sure overweight, like way overweight. Just don't give up hope. You know, it may seem the first few weeks are going to be a struggle. They're going to be a struggle. But think about this. Think of how much time it had taken to gain all that weight. Yeah, think about how much time, you know, how many years it took. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, it takes just as much time. In my case, it took less than a few months to take away at least 4 years of eating, and that's surprising to me. You know, the first few months are just going to be crazy, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be tough, but if you don't try, how will you ever know if you're going to succeed? You know, people have this fear of failing, and what's the worst that can happen? Honestly, what's the worst that can happen? You know, everybody's like afraid of, you know, failing and has this fear of, you know, just not succeeding. You know, what's the harm in not succeeding, you know? I mean, honestly, if you do diet and you do exercise, there's no way you can fail. The only way you can fail is if you give up personally. And if you give up just because it's hard for the first few weeks, I don't know what to say, you know. And I get it. For a lot of people who are older than me, you know, who have a worse metabolism than me, you know, I get it. You're probably going to lose 20 pounds in 4 months. You're probably going to lose less than I did. But think about it like this. I've never exercised in my entire life. And I can bench, let's see, what was the max I benched? I want to say like 145? 145 or 150, it was around there. You know, and think about it like this. When I first started working with him, I could only lift the bar, which is about 40 pounds. You know, not that much weight at all. So, Very proud of myself. And you will too. You know, if you just believe in yourself and you believe you can do it. Because like I said, how are you going to fail? I mean, it's really easy to give in to temptation. I think that's the main reason why people fail on diets is, you know, they just can't imagine not having a brain. And that's the thing. Food is addictive. We're literally made to consume food. We consume food to survive, and that's why our body has this addiction to high-fat foods. Because when we were, you know, literally up until about maybe, say, 400 years ago, we just, you know, whatever food we could get, we ate it. Because, you know, there was a shortage of food. You know, it's not like today where you can literally walk to the nearest McDonald's and get these high-caloric foods. You know, your body is addicted to high-caloric foods because, you know, your body still thinks that we're in a time where, you know, the next meal is a few days away. And it's simply not true. And, you know, I definitely encourage people to do research by yourself, you know. There are many different websites out there. You know, the first thing you should do, honestly, and you don't even have to exercise or do anything like that, but is to get a meal plan. You don't have to do it today. You know, just get a meal plan. You can do it next week. You can plan out each and every day next week of what you're going to eat. And it'll take a lot of stress off you. You know, if you're worried about, you know, not having enough time from work or something, I understand. You know, just on your days off, literally go online, I think there's like government websites that are excellent at, you know, labeling out what you can and can't eat and what you should or should not eat. Very useful websites, and, you know, like I said, the 17-day diet is what I did. You don't have to do that diet, and there's plenty of diets out there that are good. I actually lost about 10 pounds about a year ago from Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is excellent. Excellent. You just have to put in the time. That's the thing. You know, a 17-day diet is a lot quicker than Weight Watchers, but if you're a person who has, you know, struggled with food addiction and high caloric food addiction, Weight Watchers is perfect because they literally have recipes for like pizza. It's like less than like a few hundred calories, and it's pretty amazing. Yeah, just don't give up. You know, I know this video is about 18 minutes long now. Very long video. Had some distractions, but you know, just if you believe you can do it, you can do it. You know. Just don't give up. Like, and the funny thing is, once you get past those first few weeks, like, I was literally, I still kind of am, addicted to exercise. You know, a lot of athletes, the reason why, you know, people are like, oh, you know, how can you, you know, exercise for so long? It's like, they're just addicted. You know, if they're not exercising, they feel like complete crap. And I sort of felt the same way when I was doing the high-intensity stuff. Not so much anymore, but I still, you know, if I'm not exercising, I do feel like I'm just sitting around doing nothing, and that's a bad thing to do. And for those of you who want to know, I have been eating pasta, like, past few days. I went to, like, Olive Garden and Red Lobster, and just have been eating, you know, all this bad stuff, but because I'm exercising, you know, once you get to your goal, which mine was like about in the 230s, you know, I'm currently, like I said, about 232, 233. It fluctuates a lot, but if you exercise, you can literally keep it stable. That's what the thing that people don't realize is once you start exercising, you just keep it stable. And it sounds like a lot of work at first, but it's literally a half an hour twice a week for me. And, you know, It's just a good thing to do. Now, here's the rant portion. I just thought of this. This is a really random video. I'm sorry, but I wanted to get all my thoughts out there. It has to do with people who have kids, and I see it all the time, who, their kids are just as fat as they are. And it's a shame. It's really a shame, because I feel like that's how I gained a lot of weight. I gained the most weight when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. And I don't blame my parents for it. I really don't. Because I didn't exercise. I didn't want to exercise. And whenever they tried to, and trust me, my dad always was about, getting on me. It's like, oh, why don't you, go out for the sports teams and whatever. I'm just like, I'd rather play video games. It's just a darn shame when I look at, parents with their kids, and their kids are like 6 or 7 years old, and they look like they're fat, and it's just a shame. Because here's the thing: do the kids know that they're, having these health detracts? Of course not. And I'm talking like really fat. I'm talking like 10 years old, 150 pounds, 160 pounds, fat. And it's just a shameful display. I get it. Fast food is really inexpensive, but think about your children, okay? I know they, McDonald's especially, they try and get kids indoctrinated, with the toys and stuff. I know I was. But, trust me, your kids will thank you. Your kids will thank you. I thank my parents for, once they realized, how overweight I was getting, they did try and curb me away, having fast food for, once every 2 weeks instead of, what it was, which was once every week or so. They did try to curb, and they did realize, and they did try and, have me healthy again, and, it wasn't until now that I started getting personally invested. I kept dragging my heels. I was like, no, I want my McDonald's, I want my cheeseburgers and all that. And it's so funny, now that I've got a taste for healthy food, whenever I eat something that's like a McDonald's cheeseburger, it makes my stomach, feel bad. It's really weird. You don't think about it, but once you do start eating healthy, I would say within the first month, if you go back, your body will reject it. It really will. It will be like, ugh, this stuff's horrible, it's so high calorie, and your stomach will feel bad. It's actually pretty cool and really nice that has, that your own body, realizes it. And the only reason why, you accept it now is because your body's used to it. Yeah, if you're a parent and you have kids, definitely encourage them to eat healthy. They're gonna drag their heels because of the McDonald's toy, but trust me, be a parent, okay? Be your kid's parent, Don't let them drag you down, This is a really long video. It's going on 25 minutes. I've still got a lot of stuff to talk about. I might talk about it even more. But yeah, just, be healthy. I encourage all of you who are watching this, especially those of you who have, were as overweight as I am or as young as I am. Even younger, If you're 12 or 13, here's the thing. Don't get on a diet that's really strict if you're young. I can't stress that enough because you are still growing. For example, the 17-day diet, like I said, I've done it about 3 times before. And my parents realized, this is a really strict diet, so they did allow me to have some carbs. just don't do it as strict as adults do, because you are still growing, and you do need a lot of stuff to continue growing. So yeah. New Year's resolutioners, I'll see you in the gym. Hopefully you'll stay in the gym. You know, I realized it's funny. I went in there on New Year's Eve to work out, and there were just so many people on treadmills. I was like, because usually there's no one in there by the time I get in there. I go in there about 3, and there's like no one in there, and there was like tons of people there, and it was just really surprising to me. It's probably going to even be more crowded this week. Tomorrow I have to go back in the gym. Upper body day? No, I do not skip leg day. Leg day is really important. That's another thing too. Trust official people. You know, don't trust the guy who's like, you know, a bro who's like, you always have to skip leg day if you want to get your upper body looking nice. No. No. If you really want to look good, you know, do it all. You know, don't skip. I might actually make another video sometime soon explaining my current exercise routine and stuff that I've used that have really shredded weight. Surprisingly, actually, leg day is the most, you know, a lot of people don't realize when you work out your legs, that's the most calorie burning heart, you know, it really gets your heart going if you do a lot of, even small leg stuff like step-ups, where you literally just step up onto a, you know, a plank or a box of wood. That gets your heart going. You know, it's surprising, and it really shouldn't be, because your leg muscles are the largest muscle groups in your body, you know, besides your organs and such. Yeah, just don't give up. Stay strong. This is mainly a motivational video telling you my story, what I've done. If you like what you see here, stay tuned. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to upload my next video. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded one. But just stay focused. Stay strong. Think about the future. Okay? Think about the future. If you look up, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger motivation, you'll be really surprised. You know, Arnold is a really good motivational speaker. You know, he's very much he's very good at what he does, which is talk and do body lifting. You cannot give up. Don't give up. Don't be such a baby. Yeah. I'll see you all next time. Hopefully in the next video, which I think is going to be more about exercising, more specific stuff about what I've done for exercising, and yeah, just go out there, lose weight, don't give up. Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Yes, you can! Oh man, if you really need motivation, just look at that video. That'll explain everything. Shia LaBeouf, yeah. Alright, see y'all next time.